very much. I just want to talk briefly about regional spending and growth. It's very encouraging that you've been able to double the investment in investment zones, and I feel very jealous of the local leaders in the combined authorities with their single funding settlements and so on. I feel jealous on behalf of Wiltshire. All these places claim to be the new headquarters of advanced manufacturing. That seems to be the thing that attracts your support. Wiltshire's an amazing centre of advanced manufacturing and agri-tech and all sorts of other innovations, but it's just one little local authority. What are we doing as a government to support growth at a more local level than these large combined authorities, and particularly in rural areas?
Well, the first thing I would say is that there is a very conscious strategy to spread growth more evenly from prosperous parts of the country to less prosperous parts of the country. And since we started the Levelling Up agenda, more than 2/3 of new jobs have been created outside London and the South East. And I think that's a good thing. It's good for social stability, but it's actually good for the economy, because if you look at one of the reasons why our productivity has been held back, it is because there's a much bigger difference in, for example, the productivity of the Manchester and London economies than there is between the economies of Lyon and Paris. And we need to address that. But we should never underestimate the growth potential of counties like Wiltshire, or indeed counties like Surrey. And one of the things that we've decided to do, Michael Gove and I together, is to wind up the LEPs and to give that responsibility back to upper tier authorities, because we think they are in a better position to promote economic growth, mainly because they have control over things like planning. So a lot of economic growth is related to planning decisions, and we think it's important that we align incentives. So I'm in favour of more devolution and more responsibility and accountability for economic growth.
They don't have enough control over planning because the inspectors apply crazy rules that override local authorities' wishes and local communities' wishes, but that's a question for another day and another Secretary of State perhaps. One thing they do control is their budgets that they receive from you, but they are required, naturally and appropriately, to finance the social care requirements, particularly of elderly people. 60% of the Wiltshire local authority budget goes on adult social care. I appreciate and support and welcome the investment that you have made, another £3 billion most recently, into social care, so I think there's important support coming, but fundamentally the system as a whole doesn't work, and we were elected on a manifesto commitment to reform that. What can we do to reassure our constituents that we are going to fix the deep structural challenges in social care, not least so that local authorities can have some more money to spend on other things?
Well, thank you for mentioning what I announced at the autumn statement. I mean, I felt that when I secured a big funding increase for the NHS in 2018, I wanted to do it for social care as well, and I was not able to do so because I moved to a different job. And so when I became Chancellor, it was unfinished business, and in fact the increase, it was £2.8 billion increase from where they were before this year, and going up to £4.7 billion next year, which I think is something, it's a 25% plus increase in the core adult social care budget, so it's a big increase. But with that additional funding needs to come reform, and I very much hope that is something we will see, and it's something that I hope I can work with the new Health Secretary on to deliver, because I agree with you, it's an area where we need to see more integration with the NHS and indeed more reform.
Health and Social Care Secretary.
Indeed.
Yes. Thank you.
Andrew.
Yeah. Thank you. I wanted to ask you about tax avoidance and HMRC funding.